got to just say this about Abel and myself. I really love training you guys, and I love that I'm training with Abel. And here's why. Because Abel is all about the basics. He pounds the basics into us, right? Every week he comes on here and he's got the top 5 tips, the top 10 tips, how to grow your business, how to get started. He really is good at that. Well, here's what I love to do. My trainings are a little bit different, as you guys already know that, but I want to explain why. I love being able to take the basics that Abel talks to us about all the time and really hammers that into us, which is exactly what we all need. But I love taking those basics and building something around them a little different, okay? And that's just my style. No big deal. Not everybody likes it, I'm sure, and some people love it, and that's great. But here's the deal. Today, we're going to talk about time. And how does this relate to our business? Well, guys, Abel is always talking about what are you doing on a daily basis? What does your time look like? What are you doing with your time to grow your business? Well, I recently read a book by a gentleman named James Cormer. And the book's title is The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry. And in that book, he gives a brief, in one of the chapters, he gives a breakdown of how time got started. And I loved it so much, I built a training for it. I got to tell you guys, I did this training this morning at my BNI group as the education coordinator. I did this training. And so I'm pumped up because this is my second time today of kicking time in the butt. And my goal today is to absolutely challenge you to think about your time and the value of your time. And so here we go. We're going to get started here. Super pumped about this one. All right. So my question to you all, and everybody who's on here, I want you to answer this question in the chat if you can. The question is, do you have all the time in the world? Do you accomplish everything in your day and have no stress around your schedule? You can say yes to that. Type yes. And if you type yes, I'm going to say don't lie. Okay? Because the truth is, none of us have that. Right? Absolutely none of us have that. And so, excuse the language, but how in the hell did we get here? I want to use that word on purpose, and I hope this isn't going to get bleeped out. I apologize for the language, but it's important to understand this, right? Somehow, some way, we got to a place where we're stressed every day, where we can't accomplish what we want to accomplish, right? And we don't have all the time that we need to accomplish the things we need to do, like building our In-Cruises business. And so how did we get here? I personally believe, and the reason I use this word is that I personally believe, and I'm not trying to get religious here, but I personally believe there is an adversary that is absolutely thrilled with our unanimous answer or lack of an answer for this question, okay? And so let's figure out how all of this got started. Here we go. Strap in, guys. We're going to talk about 7 things today, and this is a timeline that breaks down how we got in the mess we're in. And so the first one is the Roman sundial, aka the original Casio, right? As far back as 200 BC, people were complaining about what this new technology was doing to society. The Roman sundial. The Roman playwright Plautus turned anger into poetry. Listen to this. The gods confound the man who first found out how to distinguish hours. Confound him, too, who in this place set up a sundial to cut and hack my days so wretchedly into small portions. What a quote back in 200 BC, right? Okay. So next, number 2, we're going to talk about the monks, our well-meaning spiritual ancestors. They played a key role in the acceleration of society. In the 6th century, St. Benedict organized the monastery around 7 times of prayer each day. By the 12th century, the monks had invented the first mechanical clock to rally the monastery to prayer. Now, keep in mind, guys, remember why I'm talking about this. I'm only taking something that's a basic, which is time management, and I'm giving you some background on it, right? That's how this applies to your business. I want you to understand why we got here. So maybe we can think about how we can do it better now that we're here, okay? So number 2, the monks, 12th century, mechanical clocks. Okay. Number 3, the turning point for the West as it pertains to time. In 1370, the turning point for the West is that the first public clock tower was erected in Cologne, Germany. Before that time was natural and linked to the Earth's rotation and the 4 seasons, right? So days were long and busy in the summer and short and slow in the winter. There was a rhythm to the day and even the year. My question to you is, do you have a rhythm to your day, to your month, to your year? Do you have a rhythm to your business each day, each month, each year? Okay? It was dominated back then by agrarian rhythms, free of haste, careless, and exactitude. Hello, Johan. Unconcerned by productivity. The clock changed all of that. It created artificial time, guys. So born into us, when artificial time was created, born into us was the slog of 9 to 5 every day and all year long. We stopped listening to our bodies and instead started waking up to an alarm siren, not when our bodies had finished resting. Yes, we became more efficient, but also more machine-like. Okay, moving on. Number 4. Let's declare our independence from the sun, right? Our freedom put us under the dominion of the machine with its constant demands. When the sun set the time, it was the hands of a maker. The alarm clock put us under a far more demanding thumb of an employer. Think about this, guys, ladies. Before 1879, Thomas Edison, there was no light. There was no light bulb. So what happened? At 7 o'clock, it was over. But in 1879, Thomas Edison created the light bulb. Now, here's a statistic for you that's going to blow your mind. It blew my mind. Before the light bulb, the average person slept on average 11 hours per night. Why? Because there was no light after 7 o'clock, and there was nothing they could do. Now, at least in America, the median number of hours to sleep is down to 7 per night. There's no wonder that we're all sleepy. We're all tired. We're all exhausted, right? All right. Number 4, labor-saving devices. This is crazy. About 1 century ago, technology started to change our relationship to time. Yet again, let me give you some examples. Back then, prior to this, in the winter, we had to go out into the woods. We had to risk being eaten by a wild animal, chop a tree down with an axe using our bare hands. Then we had to drag it back to the house and chop it up into pieces and make fire with our bare hands. Now all we got to do is go over to a switch and click it, and we have warm air. How about used to walk everywhere? Now we just get in cars and we drive. Other examples there. The question is, with all of this these labor-saving devices like email and AI and takeout instead of creating food by hand, with all of these labor-saving devices, we should have more time, right? But here's the truth. Would you all agree that we have less time now? If you agree with me that we have less time than we had, put something in the chat. Say yes, say something. Let me know you're still there and that you're not falling asleep on me. And that you understand where I'm going with this. Somebody say something. Okay, yep, good. Thank you, Abel. So guys, why do we have less time? What did we do with the extra time? We spent it on other things. So in the 1960s, get this, in the 1960s, everyone from futurists to sci-fi writers thought we would be working way fewer hours. Can you believe that? One famous subcommittee in 1967 was told that by 1985, the average American would be working 22 hours per week for 27 weeks per year. That's it. Everyone thought the main problem in life was going to be, in the future, would be too much leisure time. Now, granted, we're in a great business that encourages leisure time, right? Encourages making lifelong memories, encourages slowing down. But are you laughing like I am? That we would have more time, that leisure time would be the issue? Leisure time has gone down. The average American is now working 4 weeks per year more than they did in 1979. Crazy, absolutely crazy. Okay, number 5, 6, and 7, and then we're going to close this thing. We're gonna finish out with some questions and answers. So, hello, Burl. Thanks for being here from Germany. All right, culture shift, number 5, the change in social status. And I say in America because that's where I am, but I know this is worldwide, okay? It used to be that leisure was a sign of wealth. You know, now it's the exact opposite, right? Busyness is the new sign of wealth. Let me give you some examples. Even in advertising, it used to be that when you saw luxury items like a Ferrari or a Rolex watch, you would see those in ads where they were sipping wine in the south of France or something like that. Now, advertising, just look at it. Now those same Ferraris are rushing down the streets of New York City. And those Rolex watches are being worn and are in the boardroom with people, power people, right? The whole culture has shifted. All right, number 6, blue laws. Now, I don't know about you guys. I don't know about anywhere but the United States. But in as recent as the 90s, there were government-mandated blue laws forcing businesses to close on Sunday. A government-mandated speed limit on the pace of life in America. And in America, we have 7-Elevens. Do you guys, convenience stores. And 7-Elevens were the first to come to town that said, we're going to be open 7 days a week, and we're going to be open till 11 o'clock every night, not 7 o'clock at night, when everything used to close down. So blue laws, at least in the United States. I don't know what it's like across the world. All right. And number 7, the climax. And this hits everybody in the world, every one of you here. Mr. Steve Jobs introduced the world to the iPhone. At the same time, just a few months earlier, Facebook allowed anyone in the world to be on with a real email address. Twitter started that year. It was the first year of the cloud and the App Store. That was the year that Intel changed from silicon to metal chips so that they could store more. This was the official start of the digital age. Now, this is really interesting. This is Nicholas Carr. He wrote a book called The Shallows. what the internet is doing to our brains. And he said this, what the net seems to be doing is chipping away at our capacity for concentration and contemplation. Whether I'm online or not, my mind now expects to take in information the same way the net distributes it, in a swiftly moving stream of particles, otherwise fast, in a hurry. Just another example of even more degradation of our time. And here's some stats for you. The smartphone has now been put in our front pockets. A recent study found that the average iPhone user touches his phone 2,617 times per day. How many times are you picking up your phone? This has got to be true. I'm telling you. And then each user on his phone spends at least 2.5 hours a day, or 76 full sessions. Our time is being sucked away by our phones, guys. So how does that apply to us, right? Abel talks about the basics. How we build our business. What we do on a daily basis to grow our business. If we could look at your time and look at your calendar, I bet you we could tell you whether your business is growing or not growing. Just by what we see in your calendar. Would you agree with that, Abel? Give me a thumbs up or something, Abel, if you agree with all this. Matter of fact, Abel, are you able to get on screen with me for a minute? If you can, yes. If not, no big deal. Are you able to, Abel? Are you able to, Abel? Anyways, okay. So, guys, there we go. There's Mr. Prieto.
What's up? What's up?
Hey, brother.
Hey, great stuff, man. Great stuff. I couldn't agree with you more, man.
Isn't this crazy? These stats are just insane. And this progression, I was sitting there a few days ago thinking about what I was going to do for BNI, because as the education coordinator, I want to teach the members of my group, which are all business owners. I wanted to give them some value on and some perspective. And that was the day, as I figured out that I wanted to do this, that was the day you texted me, said, hey, can you do the training? I was like, I'm doing it right now. I'm ready to go. Let's do this thing, right? So anyways, do you have any thoughts before I close this thing out on what's been said here? Any takeaways you had?
No, man, I agree. I agree 1,000%. I've thought about this before, and as you and I know, man, time is everything. Time is everything. We got to take care of it.
Yeah.
And it seems like, like what you've been talking about, the more technology helps us, the less time we have. And then you look at these stats, I mean, 2,600 times per day.
Per day.
I want to think that's not me, but it might be, man. It might be.
I guarantee you it's you. And it's
wow,
me too.
Man. That's incredible. But I'm with you all the way. And I think it's something we all need to really think about and apply in our daily lives and in our business.
And so one of the stats that you use, the basics that you hone in on is what does that day-to-day look like for you, right? And the amount of time you put into doing the main thing in your business, which is what? There's only one main thing, showing this program to a new face, right? That's the only one thing you can do to grow your business, that's right. Really. Then if you don't have your time in place and you don't have your calendar right and you don't have your distractions, and here's the thing, that chapter that I read on this, I didn't even put in, there were so many other stats about the distractions of social media and the addiction patterns of social media. I couldn't put it into this presentation. It would have been way too long.
Wow.
But it is absolutely crazy how addicted we are to this. And in doing so, by being addicted to the distractions and not being intentional and focused on keeping ourselves present in the main thing, how can we possibly be successful? impossible.
I agree, man, 1,000%.
So to close it out, in conclusion, our time is such a precious and fleeting commodity. The distractions are killing us slowly. You've heard that term before, right? And it's kind of like the frog, right? They throw the frog in the water, the hot water, and it sits there. And they don't turn the temperature up fast. They turn it up really slow, 1 degree at a time. And the frog never jumps out because it never realizes that it's cooking.
Incredible.
Until it's dead. And so my question is, are the distractions in our lives, are the phones that we have in our front pockets, are the distractions going around at home and everything, are they killing us slowly? Are they killing your business slowly? Are they killing my business slowly? Okay? And is it time I think it's time we take a hard look at what we're doing with our time and start using it wisely. And as business professionals, guys, to be ineffective with our time is the biggest threat to your success. Almost, and as I've already said, almost 100% of the material came from the book, The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry by Mark Comer. And Abel, if you can make this a presentable thing by chance so that they can download this or just go, if they want it, or just go and find the book, The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry by Mark Comer. It will be very valuable to you. There you go. You can download it in the bottom right-hand corner here, guys, right there. All right. So does anybody else have anything else they'd like to, any other thoughts? Throw it into the chat if you have a question or a thought on what we talked about here today. Okay. All right. Hey, guys, it's time to get your time right. It's time to grow your business intentionally. It's time to get more people on this training each and every week. It's time to get more people into the Monday afternoon presentation. It's time to get in front of more people with one-to-ones. It's time to call your upline and say, I need you to do some three-way calls with me. It's time. So I leave you with that. You guys have a blessed day. Thank you so much for the gift of your time. And thank you, Abel, for the opportunity to do this. And it's always a pleasure. And I love you guys. Thanks a lot. Peace out.